the only way that business has a future for making the kinds of profits that business wants to make is if environmentally responsible practices become part of the business model. I think we are already seeing that businesses are being threatened by the early effects of climate change, the early effects of ecosystem degradation happening around the world. So you're now starting to see things like Coca-Cola becoming one of the biggest advocates of preserving ecosystems so that they can have water. You're seeing very large firms around the world making pledges on climate change. They're not doing this out of charity. They're doing this because if we don't keep the planetary systems intact, we're not going to have much in the way of business.
One of the other innovations that we were able to launch is Comfort One Rinse, which is a new technology which allows us to use less water in fabric conditioning. And for example, you actually use 1 bucket of water instead of 3 buckets of water to wash 1 load. And by doing that, for example, in Indonesia, we are actually able to save every year 10,000 Olympic swimming pools worth of water. And that's a huge saving that's also driving the brand, but also driving environmental responsibility.
Sustainable practices are the only way forward in the mid to long run for the global economy. In effect, companies have to face 3 risks related to climate change. One is the physical risk of climate change, extreme weather conditions and so on. That will have an impact definitely, and one needs to adapt to that. But also the reputational risk is something that is becoming more and more important, and it will be even more so in the future. And business practices that are not environmentally friendly definitely will be judged very severely by consumers in years to come. And the third element is that definitely there's what I call transition risk. The fact that if businesses don't take into account all the economic signals that are already coming up on the need to transition to a low-carbon economy, and probably the fact that in years to come there'll be some stranded assets.
I think businesses are getting to the point where they believe that sustainability and social impact is something which is good for their business inherently. I think it's something which we see is no longer sitting as an afterthought or a small module as part of their entire business. So I think it's a combination of both. I think government support and policy level support is very, very important. And things like the climate deal secured in Paris actually helps with that momentum. But it's also very important for businesses to kind of understand that customers demand a greater amount of satisfaction and accountability from the business as well.